Brandon, Todd, Will, y'all good?
Yep.
All right, here with Coach Venables. Y'all fire away when ready.
Kenny Pickett's been in college football since 1908. It seems like he's a good quarterback. You've had a lot of battles against you. What do you see that's different maybe about him this year than in years past?
Well, I thought a year ago he had a great year. Same, you see more of the same. Very consistent. He makes very few mistakes as far as decision making. Great leader. Tremendous feel in the pocket. He's patient. He's confident in his offensive line. And he's got a big arm. He's dual threat, so he can extend plays and keeps his eyes down the field and can really run. Excellent runner. He's big, strong. He's fast. He ran away from Trenton Simpson last year. And again, he's got a great complement of receivers, a ton of experience around him, but he makes everybody better.
What was it like seeing Tyler get his first interception as a defensive coordinator? What was it like helping to stop that drive? And then what was it like when you had a moment to think about it as a dad?
Well, obviously it was a huge play in the game. After having an explosive play, to come right back and get a turnover in the red zone's huge. Obviously very proud. He's earned it. He's still learning how to play safety. He's played, 4 years of high school quarterback. So, but I've seen Tyler just get better and better. The more he's played, the better he's gotten. He's probably top 8 fastest guys on the whole team. Expected him to return it for a touchdown, actually. But no, it was good to redeem himself from a week ago. He felt, even though we won the game, had a same opportunity a week ago. But again, as I told him, I was like, you haven't been there to do that, and that you only gain that, through experience. The more you play, the better you'll get, and you learn through failure and making mistakes. But huge play in the game for sure.
And all the guys, y'all were down Friday night. How did you feel like overall the defense played and guys stepped up?
Solid, again, disappointed in the start and some of our run defense in the first half. But guys responded well, played with great effort. Got to continue to get more precise with what we're doing. Everything at all 3 levels, run defense, pass defense. But a lot to really like and a lot to teach from. And but just tremendous effort. Got a lot of extra effort plays. Jalen Phillips, again, as Russ was telling me a year ago, he had the touchdown saving tackle, and we got the turnover on the next play, and the same thing happened again. He saves the extra effort, saves the touchdown, and we turn right around the next play and get a pick. But I thought, again, we put good pressure on the quarterback. Had easy, 3 more sacks that we just didn't finish the play. Lost leverage, in the pocket, and so we got a lot to get better at. But proud of the guys' mindset and attitude, and again how we came out and finished, a good part of the the middle part of the game in particular.
How is this Pitt offense different than the Matt Canada 2016 eye candy motion running football with Connor to the Mark Whipple version you see today?
I think they emphasize a little more passing now, but a lot of the pre-snap stuff, there's a lot of pre-snap stuff. So a lot of it's the same in some ways, and the delivery's a little different, but I think they wrote the running back that year and play actioned off of it. Now they're throwing the ball all over the place and have the ability to run it as well. As they showed you ran for over 200 yards against Virginia Tech last week, and they're really getting the running game going the last few weeks. So great balance, and again there's a lot going on before the ball snap. Tremendous tempo, You know, they ran tempo last year. They're on the ball. Plays over there on the ball. So they're the fastest operating offense that we've seen. I think they're averaging just under 80 plays a game. So hopefully our guys can handle it like they did a year ago. So
Do you think you draw some confidence from that game? Or in your
from a
players
year
you
ago,
also watched?
I mean, it was a long time ago. You know, it was a long time ago. You know, I know two guys that aren't playing in it that played for us a year ago. So, I mean, I don't know, confidence or not, because every week's different, every year's different. So, we're different, how we're built, our personnel, what we're utilizing and taking advantage of, and so we're different than what we were a year ago from that standpoint.
But when you look at Kenny Pickett, who's someone that may be comparable to him that you played, or you know, just kind of the way he plays,
Well, like this year,
or in past years?
we played him a year ago, so he's comparable to himself. He's really good. He's going to play in the NFL. You know, we've seen a bunch of good quarterbacks through the years and been beaten by him, like a Justin Fields a year ago, to, you know, guys that we have defended well. So, again, I don't know comparison-wise who that person is, but, you know, he's a lot kind of like Joe Burrow from an experienced and calmness and accuracy, and can run and just makes all the right decisions, and having a heck of a year. Got a good complement of players around him, just like Joe did, and a good system that takes advantage of his skill set. So just thinking about most recent guys, he's probably the best comparison, most recent.
And as far as, are we finished?
Yeah, I'm through.
Okay. As far as like the receiver group, Addison is their leading guy right now. How are you kind of preparing for him as well?
I don't know. I mean, you just kind of, it isn't just one guy that you focus on. They focus on, they got a bunch of good players, you know, how they spread the ball around. So, you know, everybody's going to have to play well. You know, you have to get good pressure up front, you know, with your you know, pass rush, and, you know, you got to play good in coverage. I mean, it's not just one guy that you focus on, but he's a great playmaker. He's incredibly explosive, catches everything. They do a really good job of finding ways to get free releases for him and put him in space to make plays. And they put a lot of pressure on you with the complement of skill players that they have. They've done a nice job through the transfer portal, bringing in different guys. I think they got maybe 4 or 5 skill guys that are all guys that transferred in there with their tight ends and other receivers, and they do a very, very nice job with their presentation. You know, and Kenny does a great job of reading the defense and getting the ball where it needs to be. But Jordan's he's a terrific player.
Brent, what's the key to getting him or the offense off schedule for them? What's the key for you guys?
What's the key? I mean, I don't know. That's kind of obviously not letting the run game get started, and then you got to take away space, you know. So you do that with man, you do that with zone. You got to get in rhythm, not let them get in rhythm. So execution, taking away the things that they want to do well, you know, making the layups hard, all of it. There's just a lot that goes into that question, you know. But if everything's easy for them, you know, they can get into a good rhythm. So try to, between your pressure, your coverage, your run defense, all of it has to play hand in hand.
Do you know injury-wise, Booth and Brent Davis?
Yeah, they're all back this week. Yeah.
Just how big of a boost is that?
I mean, I don't know. We'll see how they practice too, you know. But there are more guys that can cover and that have experience. So I mean, obviously it's a big deal. Now you know guys aren't as strained, physically. So I mean, it helps from depth. It helps in a lot of ways. But hopefully they'll come back and have a good week of practice and they're healthy, by game time. But it's big,
What's it been like watching Tyler as a quarterback, and not really exactly speaking that language? Then he comes over here and he moves to the defensive side of the ball, and you feel like you could really help him make giant strides. Has that gone the way you thought it would?
Yeah, I think that's a good question. It's everything from just learning how to line up, from depth and read a key and backpedal and transition, all the things that you get through years of fundamental work, camp work, fundamental work, DB training or whatever. So, he's having to play catch up. So, again, I think the transition for him has been really well. He's got a bunch of really good players that are savvy back there that have helped him. He's been great examples to learn from, and it's a great group that complements one another too. I really like our safety group and the things that they do, but he's been able to learn from a bunch of good ones, and Coach Kahn's done a really good job of helping bring him along, along with the other guys back there. But it's, I would say, for sure it's gone how you expected, good and bad, transitionally, and there's still he's still got a tremendous ceiling, that you can only get to by playing, whether it's practice or games.
I know I've asked coaches before about coaching your own son. How do you guys handle that in terms of it can be tricky sometimes. It's your own kid, but you want to treat him like any other player. I guess how do you handle that?
Yeah, that part's actually easy for me. I'm not sure if it's easy for them or not, but they're, you're going to get what you earn. You're going to hold them accountable. I would expect that they would want that. That's how they earn credibility with their teammates, and whether that's in the meeting room or on the practice field or certainly in a game, you don't treat them any different. And probably the hardest thing is to be a dad during all that process. That's not an easy thing to do. Time to celebrate interception. You got to make adjustments and get ready for the next drive. So there's not. You really don't have that dad moment. It's just you got to kind of do that some other time. And so that's what you all signed up for, though. By having that kind of a marriage that way, if you will. So, not an easy thing. Some ways for me, it's easy from treat them all the same, recognize performance. That part's easy, but being a dad and being excited for your child and stuff like that, you're not able to do that as much, and certainly not outwardly, but you're not able to do as much as you. I'd rather me not coach and him play somewhere else, have success, and me be in the stands and be there after the game, and I can focus on just him. I got a whole group of players I'm proud of or that I love, and so having him mixed in with that's kind of a hard thing. It's not an easy thing. So I don't know. That's a good way to explain it or not, but.
Wait till you get home.
Yeah, you gotta wait till you get home. wait, let's go in the parking lot and have a man hug, So it's all good.
Brent Mickens is a guy that just seems like when he's given his opportunity, he keeps showing up. What have you seen in RJ?
Yeah, RJ's done a nice job. He came in and had some functional strength and trim off some body fat. RJ's got a great feel for the game, natural in a lot of ways. He's comfortable. He's played back there his whole life, and it shows. He's got really good ball skills. He shows good range because he anticipates. He may not be, elite speed, but he plays very fast. And again, great anticipation and instincts and feel. Again, his movement's very natural, and he has. He's done a really good job of just continuing to progress and keeping his head down and working. And he's smart, savvy guy.
For some of the guys on offense said that they feel like they've really got to start pulling their weight and football. Does it wear on the defense at all when you get put in some of these situations every week?
We don't look at it like that at all. I mean, you have success as a team, you have failure as a team. I think it's easy to kind of try to segment, one side of the ball to the other, but that's the game. Is cohesively can you play together, complement one another, help each other. Both sides of the ball are going to have tough moments, and where you rely on the other side to do their thing. So when you got the right kind of culture, where guys are going to pull for each other, and again control the controllables, which you can control. You don't focus on the other side of the ball, whether it's going great or whether it's going bad. You just got one way in which you play, you perform, you respond. How you handle success is every bit as hard as how you handle the adversity. So I think our job as coaches is to always, not just this season, always strain them and prepare them for the tough moments and adverse situations, and teaching them how to respond is the beautiful thing about the game that we coach and play. And so you want those things to be second nature. And so part of being tough-minded and a great competitor is not being distracted by things that again are out of your control. So there's no division or disappointment in worrying about what is or isn't going on the other side of the ball, man. It just that's how we've built the program too, to be that way, and to do the best with your opportunities. And I've always said, defensive guys make up the core group of the special teams as well. So we got a great opportunity, always 2/3 of the game, to have a tremendous influence and a tremendous impact. And so I've always had the mindset, let's go win the game in those two phases, and anything extra is great. But we've been fortunate and spoiled that we've been really, really good for a long time on offense, and taken a tremendous amount of we've been able to cover up whatever deficiencies we've had on our side of the ball through all that. It puts a lot of strain on an opponent when the offense has been able to be as explosive and as dominant as they've been in the last 10 plus years. So but we've had plenty of times on our side of the ball where we haven't been as good, and but the offense has been there to complement us, and that's what a team does. So, and we've been real close, man. I mean, we're 4-2, and literally, man, I wish I could have this call back on defense, or this moment back on this drive, both sides of the ball, just not like 5 or 6 of those plays, just like 1 or 2, and you're sitting at 5-1, or again maybe even 6-0. If you catch a break and you get lucky that first week somehow, some way. So you got to keep a perspective, and some people want to be and that's the thing that you love about college athletics, is the passion, the live or die mindset of everybody involved, the passion that the fans have, the pride that they have for their school and all that. But you're also can be a fatalistic mindset that's unrealistic too. And so somewhere in between is where really all lies. And I would just say that we truly are, again, whatever deficiencies that we've had or where we've come up short, we're just you're just a couple of plays away. You literally are of being in a pretty dang good position, and we are still at 4-2. We still got a lot sitting in front of us, and not reaching our potential yet. That's the good thing. If we put it all together on both sides of the ball, get some guys healthy, to still have a great year. And so for us, I think for us as coaches, we got to do a great job of shielding our players, keeping it real with them, and being matter of fact and continue to get better. And that's what the good teams do. I think in 2010, so 2011, prior to me getting here, I think Clemson was 8-0, and then whatever we finished, we didn't finish very good. And you'll see that as we go. You saw Iowa get beat this last week. They're number 2 in the country, and they get destroyed by Purdue. And that's, when you're dealing with young people, that's what happens. And the good teams, even if it's incremental, okay, even though there might be some failure along the way, the good teams from the beginning of the year to the end, they get better. And so you want to see that growth happen. And it's never as fast as any of us want. It just isn't. And sometimes when we get so stuck on what we can't do, you don't see the progress that has been made, and that's a bad place to live in any phase of your life, to be just negative and not finding ways to see the positive in the storm. And but we do, and I think that's what good coaches do. You find the things that you're doing well, you try to build upon those, and again, you got to fix and correct the areas that you need to. And we've got them in all 3 phases. And but the improvement has been made, in all 3 phases too. And I just think about defense just last year, or our last game, and going into the game, I think that was the number 1 kickoff return team in America, and the running back was the all leader in the country in all-purpose yards. Well, we had our moments where we didn't defend him well in the first half and came back and played a lot better in a tight game where they're still doing the same stuff. We did some good things where we made some adjustments and got better in the second half, and really had a chance to really slam the door on them. And then same thing, we dominated them on the kickoff unit and really set the tone from a field position standpoint, from that standpoint. So those are things that we see that are very real, very tangible, and that happened. And whether it's masked by a tight game or not, those are things that happen that we can continue to build on. And you look across the country, who is it? Remember, we played the number 1 team in the country in a 1-score game that comes down to the last couple of minutes of the game. So we know what that looks like head to head. So who else is it that is so much further ahead as a football team that doesn't have flaws or issues? Who is it? I'd like to know. And you can't name them. You can't name them. So when we start really, again, our expectation, as opposed to the world's coming to an end, our expectation is we're going to hit our stride. We're going to play to our potential. Things will start clicking. And this is a developmental game. The more you play, the better you get. That doesn't mean that you're in a crescendo like this the whole time. There's ebbs and flows, and it's never as fast as anybody wants, but it's never as bad as anybody thinks either. And we got a great opportunity this week to go against a team that's playing with as much confidence as anybody in college football right now. Very experienced team, man. How can you not be excited for that? It's a great challenge. Who doesn't love a great challenge? And so this is a great opportunity for us to, there's not very many people that think we can do it. And good thing is that's not the feeling in that locker room. And that's not the group of coaches that you have. You got fighters, you got competitors, and you got a lot of people that have been there, done that. And then you got some guys that are looking to be led, and that's our job, is to lead them. So